George Santos, the disgraced, dishonest, delusional, depraved, and I would argue dilapidated Republican congressman from New York, will not be running for re-election. Of course, his explanation for why he won't be running is typical poor me, I'm the victim sort of stuff, really Trumpian in its nature. Let's take a look at the statement. He put out a tweet on Twitter, which is now called X, so we call them excretions. And hard to have a better example of something that would accurately be labeled an excretion than this post, where he explains why he's not running. Quote, if there was a single source of ethics in the ethics committee, they would not have released this bias report. The committee went to extraordinary lengths to smear myself and my legal team about me not being forthcoming. My legal bills suggest otherwise. It is a disgusting politicized smear that shows the depths of how our federal government has sunk. So far, it's the ethics report is bad. Everyone who participated in this grave miscarriage of justice should all be ashamed of themselves. We, the people, desperately need an Article 5 constitutional convention. We're approaching $34 trillion in debt. The government is continuously on the verge of shutdown, blah, blah, blah. The time is now for the states to rise up and commence a constitutional convention. I've come to expect vitriol like this from political opposition, but not from the hallowed halls of public service. I will remain steadfast in fighting for my rights and for defending my name in the face of adversity. I am humbled yet again and reminded that I am human and have flaws, but I will not stand by as I am stoned, he's stoned now, by those who have flaws themselves. I will continue on my mission to serve my constituents up until I am allowed. I will, however, not be seeking re-election for a second term in 2024, as my family deserves better than to be under the gun from the press all the time. Public service life was never a goal or a dream, but I stepped up to the occasion when I felt my country needed it most. I will 100% continue to maintain my commitment to my conservative values in my remaining time in Congress. One really funny question. Do we even believe he's not running? Like, he filed for re-election a while ago, and now he tells us he's not actually going to run. Do we even believe he's not running? Or is he going to go back on this? Is he never going to actually end the campaign? What is his actual plan? Now, let me be abundantly clear. This decision is about one thing and one thing only, which is the realization that he almost certainly cannot win. His constituents despise him. Republican groups in Long Island have denounced him. He is a joke in the halls of Congress. And now this report that says he was spending campaign donations on Botox. He was spending it on OnlyFans. Believe me, there are still Trumpists who would continue donating to this guy. But it seems as though he has realized he almost certainly will not win. If his view changes and suddenly he comes to think that he might actually have a shot, will he cancel his cancellation? He almost certainly will. But really taking a lesson from MAGA Trumpism, remember that this used to be at some point vaguely the party of personal responsibility. Don't blame other people for your actions. He did it all to himself. The lies, the fraud, the deception. And then layered on top of this are, of course, the criminal charges. This guy is facing a couple dozen. It's hard to remember. I know Trump's 91 felonies. This guy, I think, was in the 20s or 30s. Some number, a couple dozen of felonies, criminal counts here we're talking about. And it's also possible that this guy's going to end up in prison, which, quite frankly, if that's what he deserves, remember, I don't go around saying, lock him up, lock her up. If it is indeed what he deserves, I hope that they throw the book at him. So this could be, I mean, it's sort of a Greek tragedy in a sense. It's kind of like Trumpian stuff also, in that probably getting involved in politics was one of the worst business decisions Donald Trump could have made, as he now may lose his ability to operate a business in New York. The tragedy of George Santos, which he says is everyone's fault but his own. Let's see where we end up a year from now and see whether this guy actually ends his campaign. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the US alone. So toilet paper is a big contributor to deforestation and climate change. Our sponsor, Real Paper, makes toilet paper from bamboo. Bamboo plants keep growing, which means no deforestation. Bamboo also absorbs 5 times as much carbon from the atmosphere as pine trees. And bamboo toilet paper is stronger than regular toilet paper and even softer. So bamboo toilet paper is all around a win for you and for the environment. It's time to move on from that toilet paper from trees that you're using at home. When you use Real Paper, it doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything. It's soft and fluffy, and they'll ship it to your door in plastic-free packaging on a schedule. Super easy. With every box of Real Paper you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts across the country through their partnership with One Tree Planted. So unlike the toilet paper that cuts down trees, Real is helping to actively plant them. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use code Pacman for 30% off your first order and free shipping. The link is down below.